My name is Jerry Rullo. I'm from Havertown, Pennsylvania, a suburb of Philadelphia. I'm a sophomore at the University of Notre Dame. I'm a second-year ROTC cadet and a walk-on linebacker on the Notre Dame football team. I think Notre Dame always held a special place in my heart, and once I received that acceptance letter in December my senior year, I thought, I couldn't see myself going anywhere else. I'm studying neuroscience with the intention of practicing medicine. My family has a strong Army tradition on both sides, my mom and my dad. Both of them were Army ROTC cadets here at the University of Notre Dame, classes of 92 and 93. I think I sort of fell into the path of Army ROTC before I really knew what ROTC was or about Army service. I think my dad and my mom really instilled in me the values that they learned being Army officers from a young age. And once I started to learn more about the Army and ROTC, I sort of saw myself taking that path, of service and leadership and excellence. And I thought that it was almost an obvious path forward for me. The Army provides you so many innumerable opportunities to advance yourself and advance the interests of the Army. I became involved with the Ranger Challenge team for a little bit. I didn't compete, but the workouts that our seniors put on were incredible and got me into what I would say is the best shape of my life, both physically and mentally, because I think Army ROTC really helped me push past the limits that I had set for myself in my brain. So I got into boxing October of my freshman year. They had some seniors from the boxing club come around and pitch this idea of Bengal bouts. Basically, they would teach you how to box from the basics for about 5 months, and then in February they're going to hold a tournament for the Holy Cross missions in Bangladesh. I started going to practices and learning the technique, getting to spar, and it was really scary. It was, I think, one of the scariest things that I've done in my time here at Notre Dame and maybe in my life. One thing I learned about myself from Bengal bouts was that I can take a punch, which I think is better than being able to throw a good one. Last summer I participated in Project Go East Africa. Through James Madison University, I had the chance to travel to Tanzania and Kenya and learn the Swahili language for 7 weeks from the ground up. We landed in Dar es Salaam without even knowing how to say hello in Swahili. But by the end of it, we were able to converse and knew a lot more about the culture and politics and history of East Africa. So I did have a pretty chaotic spring semester, I would say, when it came to all these things. I applied for Project Go. And then right away in March, I learned about football tryouts. The coaches ran us through some drills and everything. And later that week, I got an email saying that they were interested in bringing me onto the team. They'd like to, bring me in and see what needed to be arranged and what my thoughts were. And of course, I was more than happy to accept that. And then the following week, I started with the team and kind of dove into a whole new experience. I think the thing that I'm most proud of throughout my life and throughout my college career is my attitude of never quitting. When I look back and think about what I see as my greatest achievements personally or as a part of a team, I think that always came when I came to a point that was really testing me and, in a way, pushing me to sort of give up and just be comfortable with where I am. But I think taking the never quit attitude and just continuing to push on was the way that I sort of achieved the things that I never thought I would be able to achieve. And I can only say that that's something I learned from my parents, and that was reinforced through all the leaders that I've had ever since then.